This is why you don't spill your malts. It's a bad idea. Go rinse these later. Alright, so this part is important because you want to make sure right when it starts boiling that you get your hops in there. Alright, and again we're going to use 2 ounces of our Tettnang hops. So that's these 2 guys, so we're going to get them ready. These are hop pellets. So you see they look nothing like hops. They just look like a squeezed version, like rabbit food, pretty much. But it's actually, a lot of homebrewers say that these are better, just like malt extracts, because you can get everything you need out from the hop. You know, it's all pressed into here. It's not, don't waste your time with any of the leaves or the roots or anything. You just get the acids and the bittering parts that you need. So our boil should be coming up soon. Huh. It's not working. Duh, put a shirt on! Mine says 6. What the heck? Duh, put a shirt on! Alright. So, I'm seeing some bubbles and I'm hearing some bubbles. So, my hops are going in and I'm going to time my boil. So many texts. Alright, so I'm putting in the first ounce of Tettnang hops. And I'm starting my boil as soon as they splash into that water. Go. My timer. There's hop bag number 1. Hoposaurus, or Optimus Rex is what they call it. Optimus Rex. Dropped a few on the ground. I have a bad cleanup day. Alright, so hops are in. The boil has started. Alright, so it wants me to boil for 60 minutes, which means it's another hour of boil time. And it's important to always, not always, but sometimes stir, you know. Don't leave your boil pot unattended. You need 100% of your attention. So many texts. Okay. Now, does anyone have any questions at this point in time? No? Didn't think so. I will see if I can get you another good look of what it looks like right now. You'll see a lot of the hops will immediately break apart, and you'll see some sediment on top. That's not bad. It gives it a weird green tint. And it's kind of weird looking. It looks almost like nasty soup. So that's what it looks like now. Alright, for now, look, there's a dog. You can't see him, he's camouflaged in his house. So at this point in time, you will start to smell the hops. And the heat will be unbearable that you will start to sweat. Run along, dog. Alright, so you can use this time, every now and then make sure you watch your boil and stir it up and stuff. You can use this time to start cleaning up a bit, and you get your fermenter ready. And don't worry if your beer does not look like the color it's supposed to yet. This is just the work. It will age, it will adapt, let it ferment and stuff with the yeast. So, if you get a mess like this on the floor of all your malts, well, that's not that much, just some caramel malts, fortunately, your feet will pick it up, and it'll look like a bunch of little warts. But you can clean it up pretty easily if you just put a paper towel down and just keep your boil boiling. Keep your stirrer stirring, and get some paper towels to clean up the malt. Let me know if it boils over. So the nice thing is, oh, here's a good example actually. Is what will happen if you don't let it stir. It'll get solid. It'll become a solid, weird, gross substance, and it's always sticky, and that's what you don't want to have happen to the bottom of your boil kettle. So that's why it's important you keep stirring, especially in the beginning, when it's not all completely dissolved. You might think it is, but it's not. And now another thing here, you saw how I put the hops in here. Hops, you can add whatever you want. There's some calculations you can do to predict the bitterness of your beer when it's done. You can predict the ABV. You can predict what it'll taste like with certain hops, and you can experiment with different weights or different kinds of hops. And another thing is, you'll notice when you buy hops, you will get a sign that tells you about the alpha. That's the alpha acids. That's what is important. That's what basically 5% of this is like that's the strength of the acid in those hops. So from year to year, you'll have different variations with the alpha acids, and so those you'll still get the same flavors and stuff, but you won't get them as strong. So if you have a weaker acid this year as you did last year, you probably want to boil it a little longer just to make sure you get more of the acids out of it. That's if you want to retain the same recipe. But so if you were to do 3% alpha and 5% alpha, 3% you put it in you boil those for an hour. It's not going to give you the same exact taste if you had the 5%. So you want to increase it. There's a certain number. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I made a little chart. This little chart that'll help you measure and identify exactly how much time you need to boil per alpha acid or alpha percent. The same thing almost goes for the malts. Malts all vary based on how much you use in weight. So you can have 100 pounds of a certain malt, and you could have 2 pounds or one little tiny handful of malt, and you can get the same exact flavor. It just depends on how much you boil it, and what your boil time is, how good those malts are in that year. So we are now 10% through our boil. Isn't that great? So basically we already have our malt flavor from the grains and such, and our color, most of our color. The only thing is now the hops take the reason you have to boil it for so long is because those hops do take such a long time to get even a little bit of the acid out of there. Why is one in the toilet? Oh, dog. Holy. Why did you post that? Why can't I get this to work? Oh well. I was going to show those pictures Ben showed.